Hello, I've lost 180 pounds on a meat-focused diet. My weight creeps up from time to time, and right now I'm in the middle of a carnivore-ish reset. Hi, how you doing? It's lunchtime. I'm starving. It's 11:10. I have not drank a lot of my water today, so that's kind of not a good thing. But anyway, so sometimes if I don't drink my water, then I'm extra hungry. So what have we got today? Well, it's the same thing I had last night for supper. I just, I'll talk to you about that in a minute. So first off, I have top sirloin, and then I've got 2 boiled eggs, and I put those in the microwave with my I put them in the microwave with the other, and then I got a little bit of the fat left, half the fat. I don't feel like it's tracked properly. I don't really know, I know y'all saw me, I weighed it out. I weighed it out. Why is that colored funny? Oh, my shadow. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, I weighed it out, the fat, but then I don't necessarily have all the fat because some of it went to the bottom and some of it just kind of evaporated because there was not as much fat left over. And I poured out what was inside the thing into my bowl last night and into this, so I kind of divided it. But it's like part of it got missing. Part of it's missing. So I don't really know how to track that. I mean, it is what it is, but I don't really know if it's 500 calories, Anyways, I don't know if it's 500 calories for all of it or not, but I'm just going to leave it in there, and it is what it is. Let's see. Oh, the cheese. Disaster. Absolute disaster last night. I was laying in bed and I was like, oh man, that cheese is in there. That cheese is in there. It just does intrusive thoughts, and I tried, but I couldn't get those intrusive thoughts to go away. The intrusive thoughts won. So what I did was, I went in, there's a block, I cut off 1/4 of it, this is a waste, okay, I understand that, but what's on there? But this is a waste, but this kept me from binging on all the cheese myself. So I cut off a chunk for me. I took that other chunk and broke it off and gave it to the dogs. So I'm going to say I had probably about 2/3 of the whole thing all throughout the day yesterday. So both for supper and then what I had last night. I had about 1/3, and then I gave the 2/3. I broke that up between the dogs. I had to get it out of my house. I just did. It was just messing with me. So that's the way my brain is. I couldn't have it, so I had to get rid of it. So that's that. But it's funny, yogurt doesn't affect me that way. I guess because yogurt's a big old thing, and I don't know. I don't know why it don't affect me that way. It just don't. And you know what else doesn't? I have the Laughing Cow cheese in my refrigerator, the one that's individually wrapped. That doesn't impact me. So I have no idea what my malfunction is. Take a pick. I got a lot of malfunctions. Anyway, so I saw a TikTok recipe, and I'm going to make it this weekend. They made it for mayonnaise, a boiled egg mayonnaise. instead of using raw eggs. Well, I'm going to make it into a egg salad. But anyway, to make mayonnaise, take 4 boiled eggs, 1 tablespoon of mustard, a tablespoon of vinegar, a pinch of salt, and a half cup of water, and then you just puree all that, and it makes a mayonnaise. Well, I was thinking, I don't necessarily want a mayonnaise, but I would like something so I can eat these eggs a little bit easier. So, I'm going to try is take the 4 boiled eggs and just make them into big chunks, just big chunks. And then put in a tablespoon of mustard, a tablespoon, or separately, put mustard, vinegar, salt, and kind of make it into like a little paste, and like a little dressing. And I might have to add water. And then pour that over the eggs. So then, I have a little container, and I can eat that. You know, it's hot now. Not really. You see, I got a long sleeve shirt on. I'm cold inside the office. And there's a nice breeze out today, so. That'll still be something fun to try, you know. Or I could even, I saw another video where they were making egg salad, and they took the egg yolks out of the whites, and then they kind of just roughly chopped up the egg whites, and then they took the yolks and made like a thing out of it, like a dressing out of it, and they called it deviled egg salad. Now that's something that I could get into, a deviled egg salad. What else? Oh. I have on my list, I need to run by I'm gonna go by Walmart. I wouldn't buy, please understand, this is not cost effective. So don't just be like, don't take this as something you should do. This is not going to be cost effective. But I was thinking, you know, you can buy like thinly sliced like steak, whether it's like thinly sliced like beef sirloin and stuff like that, like in the Walmart. I want to take some of that and just put it in my dehydrator and try to make my own jerky. I've done it with I think it's carny. I don't know. I've done it with a different type, or maybe it was, anyway, I've done it before with a thinner meat. But I thought, you know, they sell that thin sliced, I think it's sirloin. And I thought, you know, that's not a bad idea. Doing that and then dehydrating it. But the thing is, I don't know how long it's going to take. So what I figure is I can like put a sticker by it, and I'll be home for those, you know, for the next 4 days. So I can time it, and then I've got a trip coming up in a few months where I'm going to be gone. We'll leave on Tuesday. Meeting is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And come home Friday night. You know them dogs are going to be like, forget you, mama. We're having a good time. Just keep us here. They love when I go out of town. They love daycare. But anyway, so yeah. If this works out and I kind of have an idea of how long it's going to take to do it, I can have my own jerky, you know, which, yes, it's going to be expensive, but so is jerky. So, and then I could just put salt on it and be happy with it and be done with it. But if if I can get it done and practice, I think eating just some dehydrated meat. And I probably won't keep it in the out. I'll just make it be like something that I take along with me and let it be out while I'm on the trip. But then and then keep it in the refrigerator. Hopefully these rooms will have a refrigerator. I need to find out, because I'll be taking a lot of my own food on that long trip. But in a couple weeks, a couple weeks, Suzanne and I have just a day trip. It's a Jeff City trip. Maybe a whole lot better for me to eat that than a bunch of them protein chips, because you know me, I'll eat 4 or 5 bags of them and not blink an eye about it. So if I could get this dehydrated meat thing to work, while it may not be cost effective, it would be health effective. I tell you, I saw a video. He is an MMA fighter. Paddy, P-A-D-D-Y something. He was eating something. I don't know if it was pizza or what. But it was after a fight, and they're or maybe before a fight or something. And he was he's from, I don't know, Scotland, Ireland. Listen, it's all the same. I don't mean no disrespect, but it's all the same. If it ain't here in Missouri, then it might as well be Iceland, Graceland, Greenland. You might as well be somewhere, because I don't know where it's at. But anyway, he was eating something. He'd be like, I'd rather be fat and happy than skinny and sad. That's hilarious. I mean, I can relate if I wasn't 340 pounds fat and unhappy. Anyway, so that's what's going on. I'm gonna try. Like I said, I don't know if I'll make the mayo. I'll do both, and I'll do it maybe in one video, so then we can kind of try it out and see what we think this weekend. And then I got to clean out the car, because like I said, Suzanne and I have a trip. It's just a day trip where we leave early in the morning and get back later in the afternoon, and then dehydrate sliced beef. So that's what I got going on. And I'm gonna go in and rinse out my container and get back to it. I love you guys, and yesterday was fun getting some fat, and like I said, it'll stay in the freezer, and then if I go on another high fat kick, I'll have some readily available. Or if I need it for anything, if I decide to melt it down into tallow, poor man's tallow, cheap person's tallow, that'll work too. So, all right, I love you guys. Bye. Hey, it is supper time, and I'm hungry. So let me lay it on you. I was watching Laura Spath's video about flanken ribs. I'm like, I've never had that. Well, since I had to run to Walmart and pick up the thin steak, strip steak for my, oh, come on, Terri. That I'm dehydrating are you kidding me? Hang on, I'm doing too much. Here, let me put this down. Since I had to run to Walmart to pick up the meat that I'm going to dehydrate so that I can make my own jerky, kind of like dehydrated meat. When I was there, I saw some flanken rib steak that I see, like Laura Spath always gets. I'm like, all right, I'll try it. So what I did was I got it and, hang on. And I cut out the bones and then I weighed it. So that's what's on here. These 3 strips are flanken ribs. And then this is a top sirloin that I still have. I've been eating for the week. This is just flake salt. Carnivores in all the videos, they like to have this because it looks nice and looks fancy. So we're going to be fancy like some of them people. So that's just flake salt. And all right, so that's my main. That's my meat. So let's try this flanken style ribs. What I did was my sirloin was in the air fryer 14 minutes. I flip it halfway through because it was totally defrosted. I flip it halfway through, and when it's done, I sear it. Well, what I did today was when I flipped it halfway through, I went ahead and added these flanken steaks. What they remind me of? The texture is more like pork steaks. They're kind of extra fatty, and so that's what they remind me of, is pork steaks with the amount of fat that's in them. More fat than a ribeye, that's for sure. Would I go out and buy a bunch of them? No. Is it a fun novelty thing? Sure, but it's definitely fatty. Let's try the top sirloin. So then what I did was, so this was 7 minutes on each side. This was like 3.5 minutes, and then this being the sirloin. So when I put the sirloin in, I'd set it for 14 minutes, and then halfway through I flip it. And then at the halfway point, I added the flanken ribs, and then 3.5 minutes later, I flipped those. So the flanken ribs were in there about 7 minutes. This could be a little less done. Oh, it could be a little less done, but that's all right. So it's kind of dry. Kind of gotta. Anyway, so that's that. This is cream Zevia with electrolytes. This right here is pina colada. This is the last one, I think. It's fine. It's just like almost kind of extra tart. It seems more tart as time goes on. I don't know. Probably won't get those very much. All right, so there's that. So let's talk about today's macros. Breakfast, I did not have butter in my coffee this morning. So I had my Splenda coffee creamer, my instant coffee, my Torani coffee syrup, and half a cup of my Fairlife skim milk. So my breakfast was 82 calories, 5 protein, 12 grams of total carbs, and 3 grams of fat. So I'm just keeping the total carbs on there. Lunch, 2 eggs, and then it was 217 grams of top sirloin for lunch, and the 75 grams of beef fat. I still not sure how I need to do that. Hang on, I need another bite. I don't know how to do the beef fat. Like, how do I track it? Because I know I'm not getting it all in. You know, I know I'm losing some of it down in the thing. So I'm really hoping that tomorrow is Thursday. So my video from yesterday, which was Tuesday, you'll see yesterday's video and be able to hopefully give me some guidance on how you would plug in that beef fat. There was just a thing that said beef fat. I don't know, should I put in tallow? I don't really know what to put. But anyway, so beef fat. It's the only thing I could find. Then a baking cocoa, Torani syrup, and then that Coffee Mate powdered creamer, plastic. That was my total for lunch. So it was 1,159 calories, 64 protein, 5 total carbs, and 97 fat. That beef fat was 500 calories, 510 calories. Dinner. So I got 162 grams of the top sirloin, 207 grams of the flanken steak style ribs. And I cut the bones out and then I weighed it because I ain't taking credit for weight that I ain't eating. I'm sorry, but I ain't doing it. So hang on here. And then I've got my creamy. And then I have my Zevia. All right. So now let's see. I got to add that in. Oh, and you know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. Because I told y'all at night before I go to bed, I give the dogs, I give them some of the whipped cream. So I went ahead and put in 2 servings of that. All right, so dinner is 984 calories, 95 protein, 9 total carbs, and 65 fat. So, all together, too much, okay? Too much, but at least we're tracking it. We're transitioning. Total hang on. Total calories is 2,224. Protein is 164. Total carbs is 25. And fat is 165. So that's my total carbs. I'll have it at the end. So had I not experimented and tried that fun fat thing, let's see what it would be. All right, let's take off the fat. Well, hang on. I need to take a picture of it, so hang on. All right, so now we'll take off the fat, the beef fat, had I not had it. Because you know I can't do math. It would have been 1,714 calories, 156 protein, 25 total carbs, and 112 fat. So, like I said, it was a novelty thing. I just wanted to see, and I'll have it for future use if I ever need it for something. But hopefully, you all can teach me how to track it. So that's what we got. Listen, guys. It don't matter if you're perfect. It don't matter if you're eating ho-hos and ding-dongs. You know, if that's your cheat. If you go out and eat a bag of Doritos, just plug it in, charge it, stick it on there, you know? You need to be honest with yourself, because if you can't be honest with yourself about what you're eating, that's your problem. 340-pound Terri thought she was doing real good. Going through drive-thru. Oh, I'll have honey wheat flour or honey wheat bread, or I'll put that on a pita. Or I'll do this or that, the other. But I wasn't doing myself no service because I wasn't tracking it. Now, I ain't saying those things are wrong, but what I'm saying is I was calling myself doing good and not tracking. So I'm telling you, you got to be honest with yourself, because you're not, then you're not going to learn and grow. And that's the whole point of the weight loss process, is learning how to eat. So that way, when you have flare-ups of your weight, you know, you kind of have an idea how to get it back off. Because that's how you maintain, grow, learn, so you can repeat. Eat, you go up a little bit, repeat. That's just how it is. So, enough of the heavy. So for the next 4 days, I've got, hang on, take another bite. Y'all be all right. Clean off my stovetop. Wipe out my microwave. Clean out the bathroom. I just do a light cleaning. Laundry, no sheets. Mirrors. Vacuum and mop. Trash. Recycle. Wash the dog bowls. I'm going to dehydrate the those steaks that I was telling you about. They were called sizzle, I think sizzle steaks. Anyway, so I'm going to dehydrate those. I need to make some more of my unflavored electrolytes. Hey, by the way, I have a bunch of playlists in my channel is based on playlists. So meal preps, carnivore, keto, things that I make every week, all the things. It's almost like, if you think of it like file cabinets, the name of my playlists are like the file cabinet of that specific topic. So feel free to check those out. But the description of my video has several videos that people ask about. And so take a look at the description of my video sometime. You'll see the different videos that I get asked about. So dehydrate the meat, electrolytes. I'm supposed to clean the doorknobs and switches. Dust inside my precious moment hutch. Organize my basement storage. So really things are as they are, but it's really going to be more or less just kind of making sure that it looks like it should. Like when I did that big de-hoard, I organized things. So now it's just a matter of going down and looking, making sure everything looks, hasn't been jostled around or whatever. So I'll make my creamies this weekend. I've set up my morning meds for next week. I really need to clean out my car for when Suzanne and I go on our trip. It's just a day meeting. I need to sweep the garage, paint the spare room. We're going to make mayonnaise out of boiled eggs, and then we're going to try that deviled egg salad. So that's what I got planned for this weekend. And again, I got 4 days off, so we'll see if I should be able to get it all done. All right. I'm going to finish eating. I love you people, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.